Hi, it's Polly here. Whee! So, I've spoken before about how much I love the RuneQuest system. So, RuneQuest is a percentage-based system. It is the percentage-based system. It's the one that started it. And when it first appeared, it was a light unto the world and a guardian unto my people, because it introduced a style of play that radically differed from Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons had a sort of a level-based system. It was kind of abstracted. You got these levels where you went up and somehow you could magically take a ton more damage than you used to. I mean, sword sticking through your head suddenly didn't count as much. The armor didn't feel kind of realistic, and the magic could run away from you. But it had an easygoing setting, and it had a kind of a looseness of play that was fun and so easy to set up adventures in, because it pulled into lots of tropes that everyone understood. RuneQuest could be more difficult to run. The setting, you kind of either got it or you didn't. It had a sort of a Bronze Age, Iron Age kind of feeling to it, and it had a fairly complex series of pantheons and politics and so on. So, but wouldn't it be lovely if there was a Dungeons and Dragons variant, but that had all those really cool mechanisms that make RuneQuest shine? Ha! Look no further. Someone's beaten you to the punch. Classic fantasy. Whee! This is by Design Mechanism. So effectively, this was done by some RuneQuest people. So reeling back. Design Mechanism did a revised version of RuneQuest a few years back, and it was a good piece of work. It was a heavy piece of work, but they were going to redo RuneQuest. They had the property. However, the RuneQuest license went walkies. It went elsewhere. Chaosium is now bringing out RuneQuest again. These guys, however, retained the right to their own work, and they called what they did as their version of RuneQuest 6th, they have called it Mithras, and it remains in publication. It is a great piece of work. This is effectively a supplement to Mithras. Now, you don't, strictly speaking, need Mithras to play this. It's kind of a complete game on its own. It's best if you have Mithras or RuneQuest in your possession, because it presumes you know what they're talking about. It doesn't have the usual preambles. What is a role-playing game? How do you roll your percentile dice? What is the skill system? It presumes you know all that, and it says we're using that to build this game. So, what is it? Well, it's exactly what it claims to be. It's taking that D&D style classic fantasy, but it's using RuneQuest style D100 mechanisms to make it work. This is a beautiful piece of work. It's brilliant. It would really be like my fantasy game of choice. So, what it does is, you will be doing RuneQuest style characters. You are rolling or point buying characters. You've got the usual characteristics. Now, you may pick different species to be from, so that there are physical differences between like dwarves and elves and humans and halflings. So, the way you build characters is, once you've done all of that, you then get your skills. Skills come from basic skills, things everyone knows, how to run and jump and sing and la la la. But your culture then gives you skills. Humans have lots of different cultures. There are nomads, there are townsfolk, there are this and that. They have some species-specific cultures as well. So if you have grown up as an elf and tra-la-la-la-lee down here in the valley, tra-la, then yes, you have some different cultural background that you can take. And then you choose a class. And they have the classes that we love. There they are, fighters and paladins and rangers and clerics and thieves and all these sorts of things are in there. Now, each of these gets a series of skills that are the professional core skills. So you can buy, you get some budget that you use to purchase within your class. Now, how they both do and do not use levels, because they wanted to keep a little bit of that, for the classic fantasy, but they don't want it getting to the ridiculous thing that D&D has, where, you know, suddenly I can take 9 crossbow bolts in the chest. I care not. No. You have ranks within your classes. As you have skills that reach a certain level, there will be a core suite of skills. So fighters will have one set, and, you know, wizards will have another, etc. When they reach a certain level of skill, you qualify for the next rank. Now, in the case of things like warriors and so on, what that does is it gets you a few little sort of bonuses. So it allows you to specialize more heavily in a single weapon, or you get some everyone gets more luck points as they go up. Now, luck points are a get out of jail free card. They're a thing that you can spend during an adventure, and they'll give you a bonus to hit, or they'll reduce the damage you take, or they'll allow you a reroll. So the thing with this kind of system is that you can die. Someone can shoot you in the chest with a crossbow bolt, and it's good night Marie. But luck points allow you to insist on a reroll. No, that missed me, or reroll the damage, or you can put a bunch of them together and you can just say that missed, etc. So they're saying this is simulating what those hit points were trying to do. They always said in D&D that, oh, it's not really how much damage you take, it's somehow, you know, your luck, blah, blah, blah. So they've actually done it as a proper mechanism. So it's really nice. In the case of magic users, higher levels of skill give you access to the more powerful kind of circles of spells. Now, what I like about the magic in this is that you've got all the spells that everyone knows and loves. They're accessible according to your rank, but you've got power points, RuneQuest style, that you use to cast magic. Each spell has a budget. This is how much this is going to cost to cast this spell. What you can do is you can ramp up the spell. You can pay more power than its minimum. So for instance, something like our good old friend the magic missile spell, it's got a minimum cast, and that's, you know, 1 missile does this much, but you can pour a button more power points in it and it will make, you know, more of these missiles. That's what that is. And so it's really nice. You can ramp stuff up, you can overpower spells, you can defend yourself from spells. Really nice. Because you're designing your characters with these skills, for instance, if you were taking a cleric, how combative or non-combative you are comes to how you know, personally step in and design your character. If you want sort of an old school traditional cleric that's really good at bashing the living daylights out of things with a mace and whatever, easy to do. You just pour those points into being combative. If you want to be more sagacious, or you want to be a you know, a thiefly type cleric from a, you know, a trickster god or something, you can do it by massaging how you're spending those points. There are also rules in there for like double class characters, the works. It's got all of the monsters that we know and love. They are all in here, tons of them. And the thing with a percentile based system is that it is sometimes difficult to just pull a monster out of the hat and use it as an opponent, because they've got characteristics and so on. But of course, these guys have done sample creatures for each one. Here is your average, and it's very easy then to do, or here is the here is a bad one and here is a really hyped up one with maximized characteristics. So they're there. You can just pull them out. If I want to be attacked by trolls, or I, you know, want to, you know, hit you with a wolf pack, but there's an alpha leader that's like, more butch, easy. You can just throw them in there. So what I like about this is we've got this combination. We've got that sort of D&D setting, which is easy to create adventures in. You know, it uses tropes that we all know and love, but it's kind of an easygoing, swashbuckly kind of universe. We can do mysteries, we could do you know, political stuff, we can do dungeoneering, we can do adventures. It's easy to draw on, and it's good fun, which is why that kind of classical setting has survived so well. But what we've got is that kind of very lively detail that comes from RuneQuest style play. Combats in D&D, particularly old school D&D, are, face it, dull. I roll the dice, do I hit? No. I roll the dice, do I hit? No. I roll the dice, yes. Okay, 1d6 damage to him. And this just kind of goes on. RuneQuest fights, on the other hand, they're active both sides. Okay, I'm slinging a shot at him. Oh, he parries. All right, he does a shot at you. I'll try and parry it. Oh, I get it, but he's carved slightly into my shield. Now, I'm going to try a maneuver on him. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, I got him in the leg. Now he's limping. Oh, oops, he's got me in the arm. I can't use a shield anymore. There's like a whole visual, visceral side to these. And that magic where you're actually not saying, oh, I can only throw one spell a day, and making effectively magic use vulnerable and sort of left out of play. No, now they've got a power budget that they're spending, and they can actually, jump in there and do things. So it's nice. It's a really nice combination. I'm so glad they've done it. And I'm a little bit shocked that it's kind of fallen under so many people's radars. People don't seem to be aware that this very smooth fusion of these two things is here. Now look, it is well supported. They've done a ton of adventures. So we've got all of these sorts of very cool things that they've done. Now what's kind of great about these is, if you have a look at them, they've made these adventures to echo the original D&D module publication. So it's got a very similar page layout style and everything to it. So they're being very homage-y about the way they do their supporting material. But there are lots and lots and lots of different adventure series for this, and they're all available online. So look, I think this thing's a terrific buy. Again, I think it would be an excellent choice for running a fantasy campaign, because you have that fusion of setting and cool mechanics. So look, a lot of people aren't aware it's there. Design Mechanism, they're great guys. They will continue to put out stuff for this, I hope. There's a lot of other cool stuff out there for Mithras, but I think this thing's a absolute jewel. I really honestly suggest that you check it out. Okay, cheers.